I'm going to try and make this video quick for you. In my first video, I talked about laying out your objects on your canvas, right? So some things that helpful tips I gave were to start with larger objects and then start adding in your smaller objects as you work, adding your details on later on, but starting with the larger objects. I also talked about finding different ways unique ways to cut out paper, layer paper, texturize paper. But I did also talk about not gluing objects down. The only objects I talked about gluing down were objects like single objects that maybe had smaller detail parts added to it that maybe you didn't want to lose. I would suggest trying to glue smaller detailed cutouts onto separate objects first. But as far as like larger objects as a whole, don't start gluing anything down other than that. When you get to a point where you're 65 to 75% done, you can start gluing down your objects. Think about the way that it's layered. You want to start by gluing down the objects that are sitting on the canvas first, and then layering and gluing on top of as you work. I'm going to glue this little part for you just to give you an idea. When you do go to glue things down, I don't want to see glue like across your whole canvas, like showing. You just really try to be very neat and clean about it. Notice that I'm kind of moving my my cutout off of my canvas. I don't want to get this glue on there. And right now, I'm just really making sure I'm getting that glue right up to the edge of the paper, okay? And I didn't really add glue to the middle part of this shape. I'm really trying to get the edges first. And I'm really going to try and work quickly because glue sticks do have a tendency to dry quick. When you do go to glue it down, okay, really make sure that every part is sticking down, okay? So I would just continue. It may not, don't just put it down and assume that it's glued. I'd really try to make sure that you keep and continue to push down on that paper until it feels like it's pretty secure and there's no areas that are coming up. I don't want to see large parts of it coming up like this. If they do, add more glue to that area and then glue it back down and really make sure that it's secure. And I would check all different areas, like this area is coming up a little bit too. I'm going to glue that down a little bit more. Now, here's the thing. I glued that down, but as I'm doing that, I'm realizing I wanted that to go underneath. So this is what I talk about when I mean layering, right? So you want to make sure that you're aware of, maybe I'll move this around a little bit. Maybe I'll put that over here and I'll put that underneath. So if you have any objects that are underneath an object, you want to make sure you glue those down first, or at least leave it open space. But again, notice like with this object, I'm gluing it off of my white canvas because I don't want to really get glue on there. I'm making sure I'm getting up to the edge. Okay, and I'm sticking it underneath here. Now I'm going to glue that back down again. And here's the thing too. I got a little glue on my coral here. Okay, so I think that should dry clear. But again, you want to be really careful. I don't have one with me right now, but if you have Q-tips or even like toothpicks, you can use them to help push down some of your paper if your hands are like sticky. So again, no paper is really coming up. I'm making sure that it's really secure. If it is coming up a little bit, I'm just reapplying glue and really pressing down to make sure that everything is sticking. Now some objects, I may not want the whole thing to stick down on the piece of paper, like something like my plant. I might only glue down these two pieces and then the base of it. So I'm going to flip it over. You may not be able to see what I'm doing. Let me move it over here. Okay, I'm going to put some glue over here. Put some glue on this one. Okay. I'm going to glue it down like so. Okay, I want those two pieces to really stick. See, this is coming up a little bit. I want to make sure I really get glue on that. Okay. Really make sure that that's glued down. Everything is glued down that you want. Okay. Maybe I'm going to have part of this standing up, but then part of it being glued down. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the edge of that and have it kind of pop up like that. Curl this one a little bit more. I can work on that a little bit more. Right. Then I would continue to do this and layer as I work more and more on top of, and continue to refine this and add some more detail. All right, so I hope that this is helpful, and if you have any questions, let me know.